Hello out there, all you wonderful people. This is Andre, the Game Idea Guy. Thank you once again for lending me your time and your ear, listening into another Gamer's Thoughts discussion. And this one, you see the title. Why is the Wii U suddenly so important to everyone? Now, I know that I and the other members of the Winging It podcast have multiple times talked about why the Wii U is important to us as a collective and why we liked the machine, as well as there are various other Nintendo fans and gamers that love the Wii U. Even some people that will throw shade at the Wii U loved it, that owned it. But what about the rest of the populace? Like, I mean, yeah, 13 million is a big number, but as opposed to the total number of people or potential total number of people that have purchased Switches, that is very minuscule. It's barely over 10% of that total. But suddenly all of these people love the Wii U, and yes, I know there are plenty of people who never owned a Wii U saying this, because I've seen it by going over some of these people's videos, some of the social media stuff. I know they haven't owned a Wii U. Now, it's a different story for the people that never owned one and they wish they could have owned one and they're looking back and regretting not having it. That's understandable, because even for the games that are on the Wii U that are on other platforms, some of them have specialized features that use their gamepad very well. Outside of that, there's not a whole lot of people in the general sense, that have had a Wii U. And so many people sit there like, well, yeah, I love the Wii U because we had folders, which the Switch just gave everybody in the name of groups. Technically, the Wii U did have themes because it did have a different plaza that you could download for Animal Crossing. Though I don't really count that much. And I mean, the Switch does have themes, but it's only light and dark, basically. And the Wii U had Miiverse, which was a great social media gaming network that had to go because it cost Nintendo a lot of money. And the only way they would really be able to keep it is if they were charging everyone for it, which they didn't do. And on top of that, there was a lot of upkeep for Miiverse. So it's understandable that since they didn't have much interest, because a lot of people that didn't even have the Wii U crapped all over the idea of Miiverse, which you would have thought that at least the people that owned 3DSs would have been happy to have Miiverse, and many of them kind of ignored it because it functioned much better on the Wii U than it did on the 3DS, let's be honest. It was an afterthought for the 3DS. But getting all that out, I'm just like, why do people now all of a sudden champion the hardware that they crapped on and said it wasn't worth buying back then? Or the very same people who said, well, let's bring all the games to the Switch because the Wii U was a piece of junk. And I stick by my statement and what I said before. The Wii U couldn't have been bad hardware if it gave you good games, because the games were based around the hardware, at least the exclusives. And the exclusives that went from the Wii U to the Switch that have quote-unquote enhancements aren't really enhanced versions of the game unless you count Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, which would only be... the only enhancement would be Funky Kong, which is an easy mode. But that's about it. That's literally the only enhancement. New Super Mario Bros. U and New Super Luigi U lose the gamepad functionality, but hey, you got Toadette, who becomes Peachette. I think it's Peachette, yeah. That's about the only addition you get. Now, Super Mario 3D World, loses its gamepad functionality, but hey, you got Bowser's Fury. I think that is at least a decent trade-off. So it's one of those things where, yeah, maybe you do get a game that has some enhancements, but they're not always actual enhancements. Hell, I'm waiting for the day that Ubisoft decides that they're going to port Zombie U or Zombie over to the Switch and actually have it be on the console have it be on the platform that people really want it on. Because let's be honest, that game was probably better served being on a platform where you can carry it with you, because it's basically a zombie survival roguelike, depending on how you play it. But I'm still just baffled by so many people who are like, well, I missed the Wii U. You didn't have one. Like, let's be honest. The people that miss it didn't have one. And it's okay to say I regret not getting it. But to say you miss it, you didn't have it to miss it. Now, maybe you played someone else's secretly, like a lot of people did with the GameCube back in the day. Because you gotta think, how the hell is Melee so loved if so few people had GameCubes? Come on, man. That love had to come from somewhere. Even though GameCubes still outnumber what the Wii U did, but still, that's beside the point. There was a lot that could have been done with the Wii U. And I know people will argue against it because it's happened before. An interesting discussion that there is a long live stream for. But when you think about the fact that if the Wii U had done as Nintendo potentially expected it to, there may have been far more games on that platform, and Nintendo wouldn't have kind of ducked out the last year and a half or so of the Wii U in order to basically get games prepared for the Switch. And we're still waiting on Pikmin 4 Miyamoto. But the thing is, how can people say they missed something they never had? Like really? Now, missing out on something is not the same thing as missing it. Because to miss it, you have to have in-depth experience with it. You kind of had to connect with what it was. And a lot of people didn't do that. That would be like me saying I miss the Atari 2600. Now, I've played the Atari 2600, but I've never owned it. I've never really put like a lifetime worth of hours into it. I just haven't. Or saying I miss the Amiga. I've played Amiga games, but I've never owned an Amiga. So I don't know what the experience of having an Amiga is. So I can't miss it, but I missed out on it. And I wonder if maybe it's just because it's the popular thing to say now. Because let's be legit. The Wii U came into popularity after it got to the point where it got to the point of basically being a cult classic type system. Where everybody crapped on it while it was around and denied how good it really was, only to years later decide, you know what? That purple lunchbox wasn't so bad. You know what? That gamepad wasn't so heavy like I thought it was. You know what? The sticks are so ergonomic and better placed than the Switch. Yes, and I know I talked about the GameCube and the Wii U, even though the GameCube came in a variety of colors. Something that the Wii U didn't do, and something that the Switch itself doesn't do. Even though the Joy-Cons being swappable is a nice change out. It's just one of those situations where I wish that the hardware got the love that it should have gotten. But I see that people are really just jumping on the bandwagon, just like they jumped on the bandwagon to hate it. They're jumping on the bandwagon now to love it. And with all due respect, many of these people are the same people that were calling for Iwata's head before he passed away. Now, it's one thing to not agree with every move that he made as the head of Nintendo. You can't agree with everything that somebody does. That's just not natural unless you are absolutely in tune with that person. But that's how things happen. You can't say, hey, we hate you, you need to be removed. Hell, even me back then, like, I didn't understand half the moves he made, but it's also because I lacked the information he had. I lacked the insight he had. And only now, after getting to hear about some of the stuff that he did behind the scenes and look back at it, do I get to appreciate what he actually brought to the gaming industry before his time passed. And it was highly unfortunate that he passed away at so early in his life, because I'm pretty sure he had so many more things he wanted to do. And the Switch is his legacy, which is a great legacy for him. But people wanted his head for the very machine that they're now saying that they love and missed, even though they never had it. And despite the fact that the 3DS was still a success and was concurrent with the Wii U, as well as the merchandise that was made for the Wii U Amiibo also being successful, even if Nintendo didn't sell a lot of Wii U stuff. Or I should correct that, Wii U's. So, I guess that is my conclusion. It is that it is a popularity thing versus it being people actually caring about the hardware. Now, I'm not going to say it's not everyone. Well, I'm not going to say it is everyone. Because there are probably some people who really secretly did like the hardware and the console and the concept and everything, but they gave in to peer pressure and ran along with the crowd. So I will account for those people. But the majority? Oh, I know that wasn't the case. Because gaming has become more mainstream. It's still very niche, but it's more mainstream than it was. And now you have the people that did the same stuff in high school become cliques and only want to hear what they want to hear and only follow what's the most popular. This is what happens. Hell, even with this ridiculous debate about the Switch being an 8th gen platform, like, there's no reason that it should be considered an 8th gen platform outside of reasons that don't apply to every generation. You can't make something arbitrary that just does not follow logic. But that all said, I know I rambled. It's more so because I was just letting whatever thought hit the top of my head come out. But if you truly do and will miss the Wii U once everything is completely shut down for this platform, and you would like to show that love, and you have some sort of social media or gaming platform or channel that you wish to share this from, you can join in with my buddy Sam Storm's concept and idea, the I Got Mine movement. hashtag it whenever you're posting something about the Wii U, along with the hashtag for the Wii U, and spread the love up until the close of the Nintendo eShop for the Wii U and the 3DS. And everybody kind of craps on the idea of the 3DS now. It's like, hey, we're going to pretend it doesn't exist. Weirdly enough, that during the Wii U's run is when everybody pretended the Wii U didn't exist and bought the 3DS. But now the Wii U and 3DS are about to drop from having their servers online. People are pretending they love the Wii U, but the 3DS doesn't exist. It's a weird conundrum. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that has noticed that. But that all said, again, you want to join in with spreading love and stuff for the Wii U, and you actually have one. And like maybe doing short gameplay clips or doing, uploads or screenshots from your Wii U. That will all be highly, highly appreciated. Just do, again, the I got mine and hashtag I got mine and hashtag Wii U together, so that you can spread the positivity and the love for the platform that a lot of people dogged on, but had really great games, had some great gameplay concepts that I hope are revisited in the future at some point, and also just generally fun and enjoyable for those that took the time to participate with it. That all said, thank you guys very much for listening, and keep your eyes and ears out for more stuff from me. And until the next time, enjoy your games, everybody. Peace out.